setup that they have to do that, I don't perceive that because I don't understand it. Like I don't understand why somebody would do that. I don't expect it because well I didn't expect it because why would you try to do that? Okay, here, just let this dude cook, okay?
Satanic. Well, by definition, all of them are because they're part of a satanic institution. As we mentioned before, they're not allowed to become a cardinal or a pope unless they're involved in these arcane ninth circle rituals and these other satanic practices, which we've documented thoroughly. But this guy in particular is interesting because um, as a missionary and a bishop in Peru, he was very closely tied to somebody else I'm going to talk about. His name's Liz.
This is who got elected pope when documents about the Stein case was supposed to be released and were not. This is who got elected pope when this guy ran under a guise that he was going to release that and didn't. And this is who got elected pope during the same freaking day and week that we were selecting jurors for a trafficker's trial, a major case. Is all hope lost? What are we dealing with? What are we up against?
Him off. He's a child trafficking priest based out of Michigan. As a matter of fact, these guys were educated and worked just down the road from each other. The present
I think
Leo,
maybe they stopped me, y'all. I don't know.
or we can call him Big Bob if you like, whatever you want.
Working?
But Robert Prevost,
I guess it's working.
the guy who just put in, did his education in Holland, Michigan, which is just down the road from Lansing, Michigan, where this William Moss, who's on the screen, um, did all of his work. Now, this guy you're looking at, William Moss, he's posing with a Mayan child, and in the description, this is a part of a Facebook thing he sent out a number of years ago. He said, "Here is this boy is not my latest lover, but he's a good kid." So he's referring openly to all the little child lovers he has in in the Mayan communities in Guatemala, Mexico. Now, the present guy who's in Prevost was very tied in to child trafficking efforts all up and down the Pacific coast in Central America, like with this guy, and in Latin America, South America. The other interesting thing that ties this guy in is that he's very close to what's called RBI, which in American baseball is called Run Batted In, but RBI actually means the Road and Belt Initiative. He was the bishop of a place called Chiclayo, which is in northern Peru. It's just down the road from the major port of Chinque, which is where all of the Chinese, it's kind of like the equivalent of what's happening on the west coast of British Columbia. China is going into South America in a huge way to grab all of the mining and resources. And the port through which they're operating, the port of Chinque, is connected to this guy's diocese. And in fact, when I was talking to our network in South America, in Chile especially, and they've got a big file on this guy, and he was notorious for helping do what the Chinese are doing now in British Columbia, forcing.
I just want to let you know I'm not gonna stream the whole thing. That's out of respect for Mr. Atwood. Are y'all seeing this shit? Like, are you putting all of your heads on straight? Are you putting two and two together?
He made people up the land, handing over mining concessions to the Chinese, making agreements with the Peruvian government to allow China to go in a big way to grab a lot of the, especially the mining resources in South America. So, I mean, this guy is kind of like another person who's in with child trafficking, with the Chinese resources, almost a photocopy of Bergoglio, right?
Yeah, and one of the viewers has asked here that was he supposed to have ignored complaints about a priest who was hurting children, or has that happened multiple times?
Listen to the answer.
Well, that's the policy, of course, in the Catholic Church. They're supposed to ignore it. They're
Hold
supposed
up.
to bury the evidence.
Oh, y'all look, I ain't got a remix machine. He said what?
Was he supposed to have ignored complaints
Oh,
about who was hurting children, or or has that happened multiple times, perhaps?
Well, that's the policy, of course, in the Catholic Church. They're supposed to ignore it. They're supposed to bury the evidence. Everyone is silenced by the policy of criminals. They're all expected to protect child rapists and silence eyewitnesses. That's like.
Was he supposed to have ignored complaints about a priest who was hurting children, or has that happened multiple times, perhaps?
Well, that's the policy, of course, in the Catholic Church. They're supposed to ignore it. They're supposed to bury the evidence. Everyone is silenced by the policy of criminals. They're all expected to protect child rapists and silence eyewitnesses.
They're all expected to protect child rapists and silence eyewitnesses.
Like the norm. So in terms of his particular incident, so yeah, like I say, in the last day, our common law court in Chile has been gathering information on this guy. We're going to have more specific dirt on him and the role he's played. But as part of his role of bishop, when he was appointed quickly by Bergoglio as cardinal, don't forget, he was appointed cardinal in 2023, soon after Bergoglio and Pietro Parolin, the power in the Vatican, they signed that deal with the Chinese.
Have y'all noticed that Virginia Dupre, her accident involved a school bus? And since the day she passed, have you noticed how many school bus accidents there have been? Google that shit. There is a lot of school bus accidents. I'm talking about where school buses is running in the building. So not like, oh, you on the street and somebody hit you, school bus accident. I'm talking about you ran off the road, school bus accident.
To allow Vatican Bank underwriting for the Chinese expansion, not only into North America, but South America. The whole Pacific Rim, the whole west coast of the Western Hemisphere is now being sucked dry by the Chinese. The resources, like I said, this Road and Belt Initiative, building roads all through the Amazon, to grab the resources.
I'm gonna go.
That's what these guys are doing now. And so
I'm going to end this
appointed.
And the next part that I hear that I feel like is vital, I'm gonna come back. I'm just doing snippets, and I don't know how to do that one thing yet where you take parts. And I'm running my ADHD, internet and computer and self. So we're gonna do it this way. I'll just come back because I'll be making forever and a day videos anyway. So this will be smaller for y'all, and yeah. Shout out to I'll talk with him, but the Gematria channel that's now by the numbers, yeah. Shout out to him. Check him out, y'all. And of course, they were Shaun Attwood, man. He almost had 1 million subscribers. He got like 9 million. I'm sorry, 959,000 subscribers. All right. And if you can support my channel, but you have to look at the other videos for that because I'm about to tag on here. Peace, y'all. Thanks for checking this out. But this was really about the kids. It's not about me. Can we all just do something for them? Let's give a click and a like to a kid that might be going